You're famous, Pavel. Look at that. You were featured in the teaser and the sizzle and everything. Oh my, how do you feel? It's Pavel. Oh my gosh, guys, can you see it's Pavel? I'm freaking out.
Oh, are you going Gold Rush or no? Was it Gold Star Rush? How you call that?
I actually have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, you know this thing that that you meet a famous person, you're like, ah.
When you get a nervous butterflies.
In a way, but there is a you can say something.
Oh! I know what it is. Ready? I'll help you try to guess it. Let's play charades for a moment. Ready?
Yeah.
See if this helps.
Star Flash.
So you were close. Starstruck, right?
Starstruck. This one. Yeah. How is starstruck in Japanese though?
That is a sore subject, okay? We ended with that. It did not make it into the reel because I was very embarrassed about my lack of fluency in the Japanese language. So I have a lot of work to do. I'll come back to you next week on that.
Okay, let's not go there.
But where we are going this week, for anyone that doesn't know, is we are going to be talking about how to film while traveling, because this is our travel segment. This is Around the World with Curious Pavel. We do this every single Monday. And Pavel is basically teaching us how to create great content, how to film great content while traveling, and also how to do so affordably and really connect to your destination, all kinds of cool stuff. So today we're focusing specifically on how to film while traveling. So I know you film a variety of ways. And I know that it's evolved as you've sort of done this. So I guess where I kind of want to start is where you started. So like, talk to me about the equipment that you first had. I remember we had talked in a previous segment about you sort of finding someone that was able to help you the first couple of times, but talk to me a little bit about this evolution.
Yeah, so really good question. You're starting straight away. Let's dig into it. The evolution was as follows. So I wanted to have somebody with me because I wasn't educated in the field. I didn't know anything. However, I almost didn't find someone, so I was ready to dive in. So whenever you face any challenges, just don't give up. Don't give up. The worst case scenario, internet is flooded with information. You can get everything for free. All you need to dedicate is a little bit of time. So I started with someone. However, what you'll find also is it's quite difficult to find someone to work with because it's the human factor there. You need to match together. It's not gonna happen with everybody.
Chemistry. And Pavel and I have great chemistry.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It is crazy. I mean, I felt it straight from even before we started our first show, even from the backstage, I jumped in, I was like, oh my God, what's happening? And then I messaged you, maybe we can do something together. And like, here we are, 3 episodes later.
It's the magic ingredient. It's the secret sauce to collaborations. You got to have that chemistry.
Yeah, indeed. And good that you mentioned collaborations, because that will be one of the subjects later on, how to get collaborations and paid deals as well. But back to the point, just try. I think the best ingredient is just try new things. So try to yourself, try work with other people, learn from those people. If it doesn't work, just move on. But I think never giving up is the key. Don't give up on your dreams.
I think treating it like a journey, an adventure, sort of, right? Like not having expectations. It's great to have goals. It's great to say, okay, I'm going to this destination. I'd love to film, 4 videos while I'm there. I'd like to take the X many photos while I'm there, get this many posts out of it, or I am trying to document this very specific topic when I'm there. I want to cover the food in this location. I'm going to highlight these 3 places. So coming up with goals is great, but I think we get lost sometimes in content creation and thinking that like it's a job, and it is a job for money. You can make money off of that, right? Yeah. However, like the fun gets lost. So when I think you're approaching it from the angle of curiosity, right? When you're looking at it like curious Pavel might, okay? And you're saying, okay, what is the process here? Like actually enjoying the process, trial and error, not being a frustrating thing, but being an opportunity for growth. that's where you'll succeed, because we don't all start with fancy equipment. In fact, I would venture to say that 99% of people are not starting out with fancy equipment or experience, because you only get experience when you have experience. It's one of those things. So everyone starts somewhere. Go with what you've got. Don't feel the need that you have to go out and buy all this stuff. Like, if you have your mobile phone and a desire to make something cool, that's all you really need. And then, like Pavel said, utilize the internet. It's free. There's a lot of resources there, and you can sort of educate yourself on ways to take better photos, better videos, just by scouring what's already out there and, the experience that other people have gathered.
And that saying that when your first car that you get should be a second-hand car, right? Because you may bump it somewhere. What's the point of having a brand new car at the beginning? And same goes with content creation. Even if you're just starting now and I give you the best camera, you won't be able to use it. You won't get the best result with that camera because you don't know how to do it. So it all comes with the process. Just start doing stuff, educate yourself, and upgrade on the way. And as you said, the phones are really good these days. You can start doing something with your phone. I know people that grew their channels only with the flip camera on their phone. So the front camera, the selfie camera, which is even a lower quality than the other one. So it's just your mind is playing with you and giving you excuses, and just ignore that. Ignore that.
Big name directors now that are doing experimental films where they're just using iPhones or smartphones to make those films. So do what you got to do. I actually, fun fact,
go on.
This past weekend, I made content. So one was a paid job. I'm an actor, so I got hired to do a series of YouTube videos for this company. I signed an NDA, a fancy NDA, so I cannot tell what the company is. But I shot these videos that I was paid to shoot in 4K with my phone because it was that much easier. The quality was great. I set up my lighting and stuff. That's where I actually spent more of my money on, was proper lighting, because I needed to light this very specific product a certain way. But I used my phone to film it, and this was round 3 of the videos that I'm sending them. So they were very happy and continued to pay me for more footage just using my phone. Secondly, I then used the location that I was at to take some photos for fun for Instagram and Sue. And I had my fancy camera, my fancy DSLR camera, and my boyfriend, my Instagram boyfriend, there to help me take some photos. And you know what? We couldn't even use it because it had been so long since we had used the DSLR, because I've gotten so used to using my phone that I was like, all right, go relax in the corner with the DSLR. I'm just going to use my self-timer and my cell phone and shoot some photos, because I got frustrated, trying to, the shots were blurry. I wasn't getting what I wanted. So I ended up just using my smartphone to take the photos that I wanted. So there you go. I had a fancy DSLR, and I'm still using my phone to shoot everything that I shot this past weekend.
And you said it, just what I said before. Even if I give you a great camera, you might not get great results. And it's fine, because if you haven't used that, you get used to the phone. It's so automated there. It's really easy. And back to my evolution, when I started, my girlfriend gifted me, as I started this journey, my girlfriend gifted me for Christmas. So the channel started in December 2016. And that time, Christmas, my girlfriend gifted me a small Canon, which is a good camera. So I was shooting everything in auto mode, because I didn't know how to use it, of course. However, when I was traveling, when I was taking all the content that I was taking, I was like, okay, I need to have my camera. No, I'll go with the camera and still shoot in auto mode. Then I even before I switched to manual, I upgraded to a bigger camera, and then I started taking shots with the bigger camera. But when I got and travel, I never took my big camera for travel, because I wanna travel light. I don't want to take many things with me, as little as possible. So I was taking my little camera, it's a little camera, but it's still quite bulky for traveling for me. And I was taking all the shots with that. However, what I evoluted now into is that...
What you evoluted to?
Evoluted.
I'm gonna make fun of you.
Is that a word?
Evolved.
Evolved. Okay.
I like evoluted. I think evoluted should be the word of 2021.
Is it? Okay.
We're
Please
gonna
make
make it that.
Okay.
Yes. Everyone start using evoluted right now.
Next next episode, I'm coming with a big background, coming with evolution, crossed, and then evoluted.
I had to make fun of you because you keep calling me out on my
Japanese, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, please. I think one of the things that our chemistry, happened between us because we take humor. We can joke with ourselves. So I think it's a good thing. So what's the right word again?
Evolved.
Evolved. Okay. So how I evolved,
my friends. I'm here to educate.
Thank you for the language lessons. Oh my God. Even I'm learning everything. I mean, I'm learning stuff every week as well. Fantastic. So what I was saying is that my equipment evolved as follows. So I started with the small Canon camera. Then I was considering taking the big camera with me on the trucks, but I really didn't want, so I never took it. But now I'm filming everything with my phone because my phone, one, even has 4K if I need to shoot 4K. However, I don't shoot in 4K because my computer cannot take it in editing after that. But the phone also have image stabilization, which means my shots are less shaky. Right? And it's great for B-roll. For those of you that don't know, B-roll is all the footage that you're not talking. So some extra footage background. So if you're talking about the mountains, for example, then you can lay over the footage of the mountains. That's called B-roll. So I take the B-roll with my phone. However, the camera phones, they keep upgrading the quality of the cameras. However, they're not upgrading so much the quality of the audio. So if you're going to make any investment, I would recommend invest in audio first. There are microphones that you can plug to your phone. Also, there are microphones that you can clip on your clothing and then synchronize it with your video. So what I do now is I have the small camera with an external microphone. And this is where I take my speaking shots, where I speak to the camera. And then all the B-rolls I take with the phone. And they are nice, crisp, and smooth. So this is how I film now when I travel.
I love this. These are multiple great points. So I did something similar, and I'll keep using this as an example this past weekend because I was shooting content. I might not be traveling, but the way that I was shooting content was very similar.
Must have been a busy weekend for you.
I haven't had a day off in a very long time, Pavel.
Every time I open the app, you're live here. I was like, are you sleeping on that couch over there?
I'm very tired. Thank God for makeup and Makeup Monday. Okay, so I was shooting this past weekend, same thing that we were just talking about. And I figured it would be really helpful. And, Andrea and I have actually talked about this in our social media future segment, like repurposing content. And this is sort of the B-roll thing that you're talking about. So I was like, okay, well, I'm filming this for my client. It's a very specific script that I have to shoot because it's for their YouTube channel. This is what they want. However, what I can do is set up an additional camera or phone to shoot the actual process of me shooting everything. So then I can make a whole video on behind the scenes, right? Like I'm already doing this job. I might as well get an extra video out of it where I can actually talk about how I then did this. Because people are wondering, how do you shoot your stuff? How do you make it look so good? Exactly what we're doing right now. So I did the same thing. I set up my main camera, which actually in this case, I was just using 2 different phones because clearly I need some help with my DSLR. So I set up phone number 1, and then I have phone number 2, which was a little bit further back, so you can capture my lighting, you can capture the audio. And secondly, I will just echo the fact that audio is the greatest investment you can make. And I had 2 different audio sources that I was using. So one was a Rode mic attachment that either can clip to your DSLR camera, sort of like a boom mic, right, if you guys have heard that term, or I have a little tripod now that has like a square frame on it, so I can just clip it to that, and the boom mic sort of sits over my phone. And I get a backup second audio because last thing I want to do, right, is shoot this, my audio doesn't work, and then I get home and I'm like, uh-oh, like this isn't usable. I have to go shoot this all over again. So I have 2 audio sources. So the second one I did was exactly what you're saying, which is a little lavalier mic that sort of goes in. I just wire it right under my clothes, put it right here, and links right into my phone. And therefore I have 2 audio sources. Hopefully I can just use that first one. And these mics aren't that expensive. Of course, you can get better ones. The Rode one, I think, costs maybe $100. So it's a little on the higher end. But the the lavalier mic that I'm using, which is actually the audio source that I end up using when submitting these finished videos to the client, is like $30, I think, 20, $30 on Amazon, which, by the way, I guess I should link that to my storefront. So if anybody's curious, I'll link it. But if you hear the difference between the phone audio and then having an external audio recording, it is night and day. So crisp, so clean. I'm not using a mic. If you hear me right now through this computer, it sucks. It sucks. And like, honestly, in playback of that highlight reel, I need to start using my microphones because that audio quality is garbage. It's garbage. I'm calling myself out on it now.
Do you have a microphone?
Yes.
Why are you not using it? Oh my goodness. Next time.
Pavel, because I'm lazy and I don't
Come on, you basically live in that studio. Come on, you have yoga there, you have makeup.
Yeah, my apartment.
Is that your apartment?
Yeah, that's my apartment.
So you turn your apartment into two. Okay, well, even better. Just put your microphone there. You have so many live shows. Just leave it there.
Oh God, I'm getting called out in the chat right now. They're saying,
"Oh yeah,
Crazy Sarah."
Speaking of the chat, I see that people are loving the evoluted words. So,
evoluted. We're making evoluted happen.
Yeah, we're making it. I'm telling you, next Monday I'm coming with the big background. Evolved, crossed, and evoluted even bigger underneath.
Yes, even this show is evoluting every day.
I think the show is evoluting really well so far, and we're on episode 3. What I just wanted to add really quick on the phone, on the microphones is that lapel mic that you mentioned.
Yep.
I bought my lapel mic so I have 2. So have in mind the ends of the lapel mics, the rings that you see, they're different. So it can have 2 rings or 3 rings. So one of them will go to your phone and the other one will go to the camera. If you mix match them and you put the one for the phone in your camera, you will not get anything. So don't be confused. You didn't buy any, bad microphone, but you probably just mixed it up. So also,
I was going to say you can buy dongles to, I don't know if you know this, but I learned you can buy dongles that are like little adapters that will convert so you can mix and match the mics. Necessary.
Adapter, or there are these microphones called Boya where they have a clip in the depending on which one you got, there are one that have in the middle. So there's a microphone, wire, then there is little control, wire. In that little control you put batteries, and also there is a clip where you can switch between camera and phone.
That's the one I have. That's the one I used this past weekend. Look at that. Look at this.
Smart Sarah.
So, okay, we talked audio. We talked, using your cell phone. And I hope, Jordan, you are showing some of the shots that we've got of Pavel actually actively shooting content that he's posted to social media. Now, I want to talk tripods or lack of tripods, because that's something that I've noticed that you're missing in quite a few of your photos. What's going on?
So here's the thing. When I travel, as I told you, I want to travel light. I don't want to take my bigger camera, not to talk about a whole tripod. I don't want to carry that. And also, I have a lot of gigs where I film vlogs for people. So I need to be mobile. I don't want to carry tripods. But at the same time, you need stable shots. You need stable shots because everything that's shaky, the more shaky it is, the more likely the audience to leave. So try and keep stable shots. And the way to do that is being creative, right? When you have lack of something, you're being creative. If you break your window and you don't have money to fix it, what you're going to do, you're not going to leave it like that. At least you're going to put some, plastic bags on top of it just to be, to fix it as much as you can. So what I do is I just try to use the environment in my... You're laughing because you've seen the photos, but it's true. People are laughing as well when they see me, but it's really clever.
Jordan, can you pull up some of his? I didn't see what you put up already, but if you can if you can pull up some of Pavel's tripods, that would be amazing. Now, the reason I'm laughing, Pavel, is because my boyfriend used to get so mad at my tripods that I love that you call it using the environment. A fancy way to say I don't feel like carrying a tripod because it's bulky. But I've used various things as my tripods. when I'm shooting around the house. I've also had tripods that have like broken so that like I'm taping literally
Yeah, of course.
my phone to stuff. But we don't want to do this, right? Because these are really expensive devices. So like try to avoid taping stuff if possible. But I know you utilize pillows, I think, in some of them.
Yeah.
Even this weekend, I was another gig. See, I'm working all the time. I am grateful. I'm grateful I have so many work opportunities. But I was emceeing a sort of virtual meet and greet. And I had set up it was over Zoom. So I need a little bit more of just height on my computer. And I don't have one of those laptop stands, which I really need to get, to be honest with you. There's adjustable laptop stands. So I was just stacking Amazon boxes on top of each other. Like sometimes I use food boxes. So I have like oatmeal that I buy in bulk, or like old coffee tins. Like I have used so many different things as tripods. And it's fun to see that you have done the same. So I guess let me ask the chat right now, anyone that's watching, what are some of the fun things that you have used? What are the environmental tripods, if you will, that y'all have used in the past? Shout them out in the chat. I'm curious.
I love how you're getting more and more curious, and I think you're not even noticing it. You're just, this word is now stuck into your head. But Jordan, if you can put that pillow picture, that would be fantastic. And for example, that water bottle thingy that you saw, and also the pillows, if Jordan finds it, is I was there to film an interview. Here we go. This is an interview. So the option is stay with my hands for 10, 15 minutes like that, right? And what's going to happen is, one, I won't be able to be stable as the shot that is right here. And two, I'll really get tired and get back pain. So this is a really big win-win for everyone. So always use the environment. So for example, when I travel in London, I don't know how is it in New York, but just before you cross the road, there is a button for the pedestrians. And then in London, these buttons are in big boxes. So you can easily put your camera on that box and you have a shot on a tripod. Maybe you need to squat down a bit, but you have a shot on a tripod in the city. So it's fantastic. Use the environment.
Do you set a timer on your phone ever? Do you more use a selfie stick? Like when you're recording, and I know we have some photos of that too, you're kind of holding this little stick out sometimes to record yourself. Do you have a Bluetooth remote? Do you use any stuff like that?
Oh, no. I usually don't take photos. I take videos. So I edit them after that. Was that?
That's right. No photos. So you're doing videos and maybe you're taking a screenshot, a screen grab from the video.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm. See, that's great. You don't have to even worry about that. But I will say that I am someone who does love photos of me.
Mm-hmm. But you have a boyfriend. That's your tripod, right?
Yeah, but he's not here all the time. And also he gets exhausted. He's like, I don't want to take photos of you all the time. Like, let me live my life. So, I have to find ways to sort of be able to do this when he's not here. And I have a lot of self-tape auditions that I have to set up for, and he's not here doing that at all times. He's got his own life. So, it is important to find ways to be able to film by yourself. And we're here to tell you that it's totally possible, whether you have an Instagram boyfriend or not, you can definitely make quality content by yourself. And something that I utilize is, in fact, I have a gimbal. So that's something that I don't know if you have a gimbal. But I have a gimbal that I love. So this is a fun tool that I recommend for anyone that maybe wants to step up their game even a little bit. So it's sort of a handheld gimbal. And what that does is also sort of stabilizes your shot. So mine's for my mobile, and I put my mobile on there. And, it gives you that smooth sort of cinematic quality when you're moving in on a shot so I love that. I also repurpose it as a tripod because it stands on its own. So you can use it like that. And there are very inexpensive, affordable Bluetooth timers, little clickers that are available on Amazon that I love. So if you are a person who likes to take selfies, I highly recommend. There's one that I got for I think it's $7, and it works with both Androids and iPhones, and you just click it so that you don't have to, you can get into position from wherever you are, and then click that shot, and also turn your phone around So you can set up your shot, know what your frame looks like, therefore get into frame, use those wide angle lenses, right? And click it and get those shots without having to rely on someone else. So I find them really helpful.
When you said gimbal, I imagine it's a gimbal for the phone.
Yeah.
Okay. Because of course they're gimbal for cameras, but I just couldn't imagine you having a gimbal with the DSLR walking around. I just couldn't imagine you.
Yeah, particularly when I just admitted that I can't even remember how to use my DSLR.
But I don't know. The tripod you have probably is a tripod for a camera. However, if you have the selfie stick, the end of the selfie stick, you can unscrew that and you can adjust it to the tripod, and then there you have it, a tripod for your phone.
Yes, that is something I do. So I highly recommend that. So if you get a tripod for a camera, for a DSLR, take your selfie stick and sort of combine the two, and that works really well. I also just invested in a brand new tripod, which is incredible. Like this past weekend was the first weekend that we used it for this shoot.
Ooh, no more taping.
And it converts to a monopod, which is really awesome for when you're kind of shooting in the street and just need like a quick handheld sort of shot. So I think I'm going to have to do a video on all my equipment that I use for any aspiring content creators or people who want to shoot content. I'll link some of the stuff that I'm using because some of it is available through Amazon, so I can link it through my storefront, but some of it is available through more sort of photo and specialty stores. But none of it's really all that expensive. Some of it's a little more expensive, but some of
As we mentioned, you don't need to start much. But have a look at the chat. So people are mentioning what they use for tripods.
Yes, books, I am loving this.
Books. Check this out. Stones. Stones one on another. This is crazy. That's cat's the environment box.
For real. Yeah. The cat's box. That's hilarious. Cookware. Yes. We all get creative with our tripods. So I'm loving this. Right now, I mean, I'll tell you, my laptop is sitting on the couch. That's why I do this in the corner, because I have an L-shaped couch. So this sits on the couch. So my couch is my tripod.
Okay. Yeah. You see? There you go. It looks very professional with the Tsu in the back. You're very creative, apparently. Lazy, but creative.
Well, we are going to be moving into a studio in the next couple of months. So everyone, things are going to start to look a bit more official, which is very, very exciting. But let's see if we've rounded out our list here. So we talked about phones, we talked about DSLRs, we talked about sort of B-roll versus, your A camera shots, right? So you're talking about your main shot, which in Pavel's case, or any of you potentially, would be that camera on you while you're talking, you're walking around the city, you're saying, hey, check out Big Ben. This is what I know about Big Ben. I don't know, Pavel, you'd have to fill in the blanks there, but right? Your A camera is on you, talking about the sights, talking about the food, whatever. And then your B camera is getting, a lot of your B-roll, right? Which is, the food itself, the mountains, anything that's not you, but that you would want to edit into your video later while you either have voiceover, dubbing it over, or sort of those close-up shots that you want to point out. And then we talked a bit about audio and different audio sources. We've talked about tripods. What else? What else do we need here? Lighting, if you're outside, I'm guessing, isn't a problem because you're mostly trying to do stuff with natural light. I guess something that I could recommend would be ring lights come in all shapes and sizes. Obviously, you normally need somewhere to plug them into. However, there is a ring light that I discovered that I do use rarely, but it comes in handy sometimes. It's about this big. And it clips to your phone, or it can clip to your laptop. So if you're filming, let's say on the go, let's say it's dark outside, but you need a specific shot and you don't quite have the lighting, you could use something like that. It's battery powered. What have you done for lighting? Screw you. What have you done in situations like, let's say you're filming something at night and you don't have proper lighting? What do you do then?
I use my phone. If I film my phone, I just take someone else's phone and I use the flashlight from that phone. So this is the thing I do. Lighting. So these are the three main things. You have sound, video quality, and light. These are the three main components that you're gonna need to take care of when you're filming. So always natural light. Nothing beats natural light. However, there is thing that is called harsh natural light. It's too harsh. So if you go to Greece in August, don't go film at noon because it's going to be too harsh. It's going to be too hot for you. It's going to be too harsh lighting if you are not in the shade but somewhere outside for the video as well. So I would say always try natural light. However, if you don't, do you know how I improvise with my lighting? I didn't want to buy fancy lights at the beginning, so I took food boxes, right? Then I burned the end of it. I put foil inside. I put one light bulb, plug it in, close the lid, and then here you go. You have a light. I have 3 of those boxes still with me.
That's awesome. You get creative. And that's the message here. Again, you approach it from a posture of curiosity, try different things, see what works for you. Obviously, sometimes you're not going to have ideal lighting because you're capturing a very specific thing at a very specific time. And you got to find things that work, but do the best you can. And some things you can edit and post, right? Like I'm sure you've had things that you come back and you can sort of lighten up that video quality. For instance, like, the thing that I was shooting over the weekend, the light, I was filming in the middle of the day and the light was just changing like this. It was super annoying. And there really wasn't a way for me to make sure that it was staying the same because I was shooting in front of curtains. That's where they wanted this very specific shot. And so in post, I did the best that I could to sort of adjust color, temperature, exposure, those sorts of things. So obviously keep in mind that you can make minor adjustments, but the best that you can do while you're actually filming, the easier it is going to be for you, and the better quality video you're going to have.
Yeah, when it comes to editing, there is this thing called, it's a joke circulating in between video producers like, we're going to fix it in post-production. So post-production is the editing part. And don't wait on that. Anything you can fix, as you said, anything you can fix before that, you're going to make your life so much easier. Just do it.
So I feel like we covered most of it. Do you feel like there's anything else that we've left out in terms of this particular topic?
No, I think it was great. I think these are the main points, the video quality and what you film with, the sound and the lights. However, I think next week what we can talk about is what can we talk about? So we talk about the equipment. Next week, I can give you some tips on, we can give you some tips because I'm sure Sarah can jump in. We can give you some tips on how actually to film when you travel. Some extra tips over there, like how to frame your shots, what to film, what not to film, how much to film. So I think that would be a good extension of the subject.
The actual execution of the filming. Yep. So now you have your equipment, kind of what you want to do. How do you execute the process? So I think that's a great follow-up segment. So you'll have to tune in then to see all the tips and tricks that we've got for shooting your content. Pavel, thanks so much for this. I had a lot of fun, and we're definitely evoluting every single week, I gotta say.
I think, did you notice how naturally used that word? And it sounded so well as well.
I think it's meant to be a word. It really is. So I'm going to weave it into my everyday language. We'll definitely make sure we weave it into the show next week. And everyone that's watching right now, definitely don't miss out. Join us then.